Is it possible to connect an external PU via Ethernet? I have laptop which has working Ethernet port, but I always use Wi-Fi. I am wondering if it is possible to run and use a graphics card with external power supply connected to the Ethernet port with some kind of PCI emulation to emulate the Ethernet PU as a PCI-1. A Cat6 cable can do 10 GB/s, which should be enough for a PU to run and play games. Could this be possible?
No. Chances are very slim that your laptop has a 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter. It's uncommon on high-end desktops. You'd also need some clever hardware to translate between PCIe to Ethernet, and the latency. You have a device which is typically put as close to the processor as possible with 16 dedicated PCIe lanes right into it, and you'd be adding a ton of latency. Such a device would essentially be a video card plugged into a PC, rendering what you want to play on the video card, compressing it, and sending it over as video. Newer laptops may be able to do this with Thunderbolt, but that's a whole different protocol, with the necessary clever hardware available.
Connecting a PU by Ethernet is like connecting your PS3 controller to the PS/2 keyboard port. Sounds like it's trying to fix a problem, but the solution turns out to be completely outlandish and impractical. Granted, if you can pull it off, you'll gain more popularity as that one crazy guy. That said, I advise you not to try to do this because the interface simply doesn't exist. You'd have to go through a lot of hoops to get your card to accept low-level commands through high-level interfaces and then bring back a video output. The latency would be absolutely horrible, unless you are willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for an enterprise-grade solution that lets you do this for one reason or another. However, don't fret. You may still be able to connect your PU to your laptop. For instance, if you have an express card slot, you can use an express card to PCI adapter, along with a power supply unit, to have a seamless experience. However, there may be compatibility issues due to the operating system's inability to set up resources for the PCI connection to the PU, so browse around and make sure it's compatible before you buy anything. Consult guides such as PeakWorld's ePU tutorial to see if you have everything you need to use a desktop PU with your laptop. Regardless, do not expect 100% performance. Remember, it's a laptop.
Probably not at commodity pricing for another few years. The current offerings are all high-end, using 1040 GB/s connections and NVIDIA Tesla cards. Even then, it's not directly usable for gaming or graphics, but more for CUDA processing. For example, this URL.
Not with Ethernet, but with PCI and Thunderbolt. This article breaks down the external PU landscape well. A number of companies sell PCI/Thunderbolt enclosures. Some are limited by Thunderbolt's power, some have their own power. MZGUS 2 using Thunderbolt and limited to 150 W. ArcETO Thunder 2 PCI box using Thunderbolt 2, but only provides 25 watts. Netster sells a number of externally powered PCI expansion systems which run on Thunderbolt. The Razer Core is a Thunderbolt 3 external enclosure handling up to 375 W. There's even a DIY kit.
If you want to support the channel,